Hello, welcome to White Birch Tarot and Astrology. This is a reading for the new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius at 28 degrees, which occurs on February 27th. No, it doesn't. February 17th at 7:01 a.m. Eastern Time in the U.S. So adjust accordingly. I'm doing this. It's just barely February 16th where I'm at. And I think I missed something the other day. I'm going to talk about the astrology briefly, and I will timestamp when the card reading starts. And I apologize you can't see them all. Everything's just weird tonight. But Saturn went into Aries on the 15th. And I was thinking it went in on the 20th, because that's when it conjuncts Neptune is the 20th. So I missed that. So I will do a separate reading maybe in a couple of days for Saturn moving into Aries, because that's a big deal. And I think some of the energy sneaked into this reading. I'm pretty sure, because there are a lot of wands, which I normally wouldn't associate so much with Aquarius. So the new moon is when the sun and moon are together. And interestingly, they are squaring, which is a difficult aspect, 90 degrees, Uranus, which is in Taurus at 27 degrees. And Uranus rules Aquarius, co-rules with Saturn. So that's really interesting. So I kind of expected, honestly, to draw the Tower. And that is nothing like what we got. So I was kind of surprised, honestly. Because when you have a solar eclipse, I feel like this is, we've had all the, I just interrupted myself 3 times. We've had all this Pisces energy with Saturn and Neptune moving through Pisces, and now they're both moving into Aries, or have moved into Aries. And so we've kind of been like in this holding pattern. I feel like this is like the beginning of, like, the new cycle finally is here that I've been talking about and everybody's been talking about. It's really starting now. This is really it. And I don't know where I was going with that, but anyway, it's kind of like things are, now the old stuff gets to crumble. Before it was kind of dissolving, but whatever's left, the old just kind of breaks down. And when the eclipse is squaring Uranus like this, things can kind of happen suddenly, and you could have some Tower moments. So just be careful. It can be a little bit chaotic. And we have some mental understanding going on here, because Mercury's in Pisces, where it's very intuitive. Our minds are very intuitive. And Mercury is in a trine, which is a very smooth, communicative aspect to Jupiter retrograde in Cancer. So whatever we've been focused on from the past about nurturing and all that stuff I've been talking about for a long time, we're finally starting to get some aha moments about that and process some of that. So that's going on as well. And let's see. So this is for the 17th. Yeah, on the 19th, the sun moves into Pisces, but we're not there yet. So the new moon solar eclipse is about trusting the process. It's about getting ready for some change, looking for a community in which you fit, allowing yourself to think about the future in a new way, forward, progressive thinking. Be yourself, be unique. Let's see. Yeah. And I'll just briefly talk about Saturn moving into Aries, since I mentioned it. It already did a couple days ago. Now we get to face our fears and limitations. It's about personal power and responsibility, patience, self-confidence, effort. In fact, I wrote something down the other day on my phone. Let's see, I wrote, cautious movement rather than impulsive action, building a solid foundation. We might run into obstacles. We need to work on our personal boundaries. Yes. Take responsibility for what you need to take responsibility for, and let go of what you don't, and know the difference. Work with frustration and anger, especially when things don't go quickly or don't go your way. Be disciplined and build a stronger sense of self-identity. Yes, I wrote that a few days ago. I'm glad I remembered that. Okay, So, and then we also have, just briefly I'll mention, we also have Chiron, the wounded healer, in Aries at 23 degrees in a good aspect called a sextile with this eclipse. So it's about being brave and feeling the power in the places where you've been healing. Because when Chiron moves through Aries, it's about healing our self-identity. And now it's this eclipse in Aquarius is about, you know, getting in touch, like I said, with the part of you that's really unique. And also, where do you fit in to the community? What do you have to offer? What's different about you that, you know, there's a niche for you. There's a place created for you, or you wouldn't be here. So even if it's just in your own family or whatever, but what is yours to do? Okay, I think there's just a lot going on, and I've just been busy or whatever, so excuse me while I take a drink. I should clarify that's just water. I'm not drinking on the job. I don't drink anyway. Okay, so I tried to pull some oracle cards and none would come out. They just will not come out. So apparently this is all we need. And it's, I'm doing the cross of truth. So I'm just going to do, oh, let me write down the time. Okay. Okay. And again, I will post again for Saturn moving into Aries, because that's really big. But again, I think it's sneaked in here. So this is the cross of truth. So this is our energy. And we get the Knight of Wands. This is the Oak, Ash, and Thorn deck by Three Trees Tarot. Knight of Wands energy. In this deck, yes, it's about movement forward, but it's not quite like the White Knight charging. But we do have fire. There's the salamanders on the tree, which if you remember in myth, they're supposedly don't they burn and then stay alive or something? They have something to do with fire. I'm not quite sure why there's a bumblebee, but he's got his wand and he's setting forth. He looks to me like he's beginning a quest. He's like, okay, it's nighttime, but I'm nocturnal. I'm going for it. I love that he's got 3 feathers in his cap. That reminds me of something. So this is our energy. Let me see if it says anything different on the bravery and inspired action. Okay, yes. Yes, that fits. And then I said, what's crossing us, or what is keeping us from doing what we want to do? And 2 came out. I had lots of doubles tonight. So the first one that came out was they came out together. The 5 of Cups. What's standing in our way? Well, we're stuck in old emotions and regret and sorrow. There's some not wanting to let things go, and we're dwelling on sad things that have happened. But, you know, don't beat yourself up for that, because with this Jupiter moving through Cancer and being retrograde for so long there, I don't know about you, but I've had so much come up about the past. I think it's necessary. I mean, after all, if we're ending a karmic cycle with planets in Pisces, emotions are going to come up. And you can't start something new without reconciling the past. So, yes, don't get caught up in regrets, old regrets and old sorrows, even though that's tempting, or not tempting, but possible. And also what's standing in our way is the 3 of Wands. I'm taking this to mean that, yes, we're feeling the urge to move forward, but we're not sure where we want to go. We just don't know. We're looking ahead and we feel like exploring, but we don't have the destination is not visible. It's out there somewhere. And we kind of want things to be more sure, but they're not right now. Not yet. Okay, so those are crossings. Then I said, what do we need to leave behind? And this threw me, to be honest, because I got the 8 of Pentacles. And I thought, well, this isn't the 7 where you're assessing whether or not what you're working on is, you know, worth it. This is the 8 where you generally stick with what you do and you continue to work. 8s are movement. So I'm thinking, are we supposed to abandon what we've been working on? So I pulled a clarifier for that. And that doesn't really make sense either. I got the Six of Wands. Let's see if it clarifies anything. I mean, I know what the Six of Wands is. It's the same thing. Victory, I know. Okay. So, maybe it's telling us, maybe what it's saying is, maybe it is kind of like the Seven of Wands. Maybe it's telling us that what we've been working on was good, but we've already achieved that. So if you've already done that, or it's something that you've done over and over, you don't need to do it again. You don't need to keep doing it. That's the only thing I can think of. If anybody has any other ideas, I'd appreciate them, because I was a little stumped by that. So, and maybe also with this being the, you know, the victor card and the admiration card, maybe it's telling us, you know, don't look for that right now. Don't worry about that. You don't need the admiration. I don't know. And then I said, well, what's coming up? What's this new moon solar eclipse bringing? And I'm thinking, okay, this is, you know, this is Aquarius energy, and it's squaring Uranus and Taurus. There should be some sudden, no, we get the Four of Pentacles. This is stability. This is holding on to what we've got, not moving quickly, being prudent, being cautious. And that didn't make sense to me, so I pulled some more clarifiers. Now, with Saturn moving into Aries, kind of makes sense to me, because, you know, what I read about boundaries, and it's about, you know, Saturn in Aries is definitely about starting something new, but you don't just run off and do it. You do it very measured and carefully. Okay, so I said, please help me clarify the Four of Pentacles. And I got Temperance. Again, a very cautious message. Don't do anything sudden. Make sure that whatever you do is balanced. Make sure your actions are balanced with logic and emotion, and, you know, just be cautious. And the Page of Pentacles, who's balancing the pentacle on his nose. I mean, how much more careful can you get? So this is telling us, again, this might be tied in with the Saturn in Aries. I don't know. There's definitely forward motion, but it's very measured. It's very cautious, and it's, you know, don't get angry. Don't do anything sudden. Be temperate. Yeah. And then I asked, what is at the basis of all this? What's the foundation? And we get 2 cup cards. And we get the Queen of Cups, which is us being in our intuition. So we're supposed to tap in to what we really feel. And let me see, this deck's a little different. I like the way they put things here. They were calling her compassion and intuition. Yeah. So, again, I feel like this is that Jupiter and Cancer energy, but this is based on, what does your heart want? This is all based on emotions. What do you want emotionally? What feels right? You know, the new moon solar eclipse is a time to set an intention. It's a time to think ahead, but you don't act during the new moon, but you think about it. But she's saying, don't forget your heart. Don't forget your gut. Don't forget your intuition. And the Knight of Cups. Perfect pair here. The Queen and the Knight. Yeah, so he's offering. And he's telling us to follow our heart, which is kind of what she's saying. She's really about intuition also, but he's saying, you know, I'm giving you this, but it's truth, it's emotional truth, it's compassion, and you need to fly in the direction that your heart tells you. So even though this is a time where we set an intention during the new moon, and we also reflect on what's gone before, and, you know, it's starting a new cycle, which of course always means wrapping up an old one. We don't lose sight of the fact that we're following our hearts and our intuition at this time. Okay. And then I said, what energy blesses us? And we get the Magician, which is really interesting, because with Saturn moving into Aries, that's about manifesting. And also, the Magician card in the like the Rider-Waite Tarot is connected with Aquarius and Uranus energy. So we can draw down. He's got all 4 of the elements here: air, water, earth, and fire. And he can manifest. And so can we. So this new moon eclipse gives us a glimpse, I think, into not only what's ready for change, but what we need to trust and what we truly want. And what, Aquarius is very original energy. It's about being uniquely you. And we've been working on that for a while with Chiron going through Aries, and as I said, now Saturn and Neptune in Aries. So this is our gift. We get to manifest. And I have a feeling if I do a specific reading for Saturn in Aries, which again I think some of that snuck in, this is a time when you can accomplish a lot. And when Saturn and Neptune are together in Aries, it's about manifesting what you can dream, what you can imagine can become real. There's some tricks involved in that, but anyway, I think this is a very interesting reading. It's very powerful energy, but I'm just really struck by the caution, not to frighten us, but just to tell us to take it slowly, because Uranus can sometimes be, want to move very quickly, and we don't want to do that. So don't forget that Saturn is also a co-ruler of Aquarius, and there's a reason for that. We want to stay grounded. I love Aquarius energy. I just outright love it. So I'm looking forward to this. It's a fresh move. It's a fresh start. And yeah, so this is us, the Knight of Wands. Yay, we finally get to move. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for listening and watching, and please leave me a comment, and please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons, and I will post in a couple days. Sorry, I forgot about some of the stuff going on in the sky, but that happens, and I will talk to you later. Blessings. Good night.